Hey everyone, Christopher, the video game historian here, and if you know me, then you know that I've had a less than friendly opinion of the Call of Duty games over the past few years. I've played the series since Call of Duty Finest Hour on the PlayStation 2, and played it up until Modern Warfare 3, and it really wasn't until Modern Warfare 2 that I began to start disliking the series, and felt like it was beginning to go downhill and veering off of what made the series great and what I loved about it. The last game in the series that I can say I actually enjoyed was Black Ops 1, and even that game had a lot of issues that annoyed me, like the ridiculous knifing distances, the hard spawns, and some of the overpowered and frankly ridiculous kill streaks. But I still played it as I loved the maps, gameplay, and Treyarch did a great job distinguishing it from being a Modern Warfare 2 clone. While I began to lose interest in the series with Modern Warfare 2, it wasn't until Modern Warfare 3 that I really began to despise the franchise. Now, I don't remember all the reasons why I stopped buying the series. I think part of it had to do with Activision's treatment of Infinity Ward and their founders, their reluctance to care about the product they were publishing, so as long as it met the deadline and was out on its annual release schedule, regardless of how poor the game actually turned out was. All I know is that I hated the game, thought the perks and kill streaks were just too ridiculous and over the top, throwing out any semblance of balance and skill right out the window and catering to the lowest common denominator, as it didn't matter how bad you actually were at the game was still going to hold your hand and allow you to get some kills for doing bad with death streaks. Oh, and the camping in that game, don't even get me started. I'm about to blow a gasket just thinking about that. But after that game, I just stopped with the series. With each new game that was announced, Black Ops 2, Ghost, Infinite Warfare, etc., I would just scoff at the fact that there is yet another game being released with even more idiotic and ridiculous features being implemented that I felt like no one really ever asked for, and was getting further and further away from being what I remember as a Call of Duty game. Futuristic settings, wall running, jetpacks, robots, laser guns. I thought they had no place in a Call of Duty game, and that the series was simply turning into Halo. I thought World War II would get me back into the franchise, but unfortunately it was a no-go. Despite really liking the war game mode, I didn't have fun with the game as a whole, and thought it was just too fast and chaotic, feeling like Sledgehammer was initially working on an Advanced Warfare 2 before seeing the backlash of Infinite Warfare, and just went back to slap a World War II skin over an advanced movement game. Initially, I wasn't even going to get Black Ops 4, as I didn't have any fun with World War II, so why would this game change my mind? Why would it really be any different? Since I stopped playing the series, I had found a new one to call my own and to enjoy immensely, and that being Battlefield. Since 2008, I have basically been playing the Battlefield games, though it wasn't until Battlefield 1 that I became an active member of the community. So I wasn't really planning on buying the game, especially with Battlefield 5 right around the corner. And I felt like this was just going to be yet another Call of Duty game, adding in ridiculous advanced movement mechanics and being a fast-paced Twitch shooter catering to the competitive scene. Nope, I was wrong. I was completely dead wrong. I'll be the first to admit that. Even though I'm stubborn in every other area of my life, I will gladly admit when I'm wrong in this case. After seeing many in the community play the game and enjoy it, I thought I would look into it and try it for myself, and I'm so glad that I did. Black Ops 4 has been amazing so far. This is the first time in years that I can actually say with confidence that I am having fun with a Call of Duty game. In terms of movement, the game is a lot slower than World War II was, which I think is a good thing, as it feels a little more, I don't want to say tactical, but it lets you breathe. It doesn't just throw you in there and throw you into all the chaos. It lets you kind of breathe and take in the situation as you spawn. I don't feel like I'm running around like Usain Bolt. The gunplay is also very, very smooth and fluid, and some of, if not the best gunplay I've ever experienced in not only the series, but in first-person shooters in general. The maps are great, and it's great to play on many of the classic Black Ops maps like Array and Jungle. I like that there aren't a lot of perks to choose from, which I think helps balance out the games, and something that I really had issues with in the previous games, just having so many perks to choose from. Having specialists is a good move for the game, and while I thought that this would make the game a little bit more unbalanced since they each have different abilities, it honestly really doesn't, and in fact kind of does the opposite. It actually helps ensure the balance. Since not everyone can pick battery, grenade spam is limited. Killstreak dogs is really no longer an issue, as only Nomad can call them in, and he can only call in one dog, as opposed to the 24 dogs that you got in World at War, Black Ops 1, etc., that just came in and utterly destroyed you once you called them in. So somehow this just works. It works to really help ensure the balance of the game, which is surprising and great. Now, I haven't really played around with many of the specialists, as I've only really been using Nomad, Recon, and Battery so far, but I did play Ajax for a little bit and thought he too was a lot of fun, especially with the Riot Shield. Overall, the multiplayer is a lot of fun, and I actually look forward to playing it, something that really hasn't happened to me in years with this franchise, as I'm usually dreading playing around a World War II. I've mainly been playing Kill Confirmed, which is a lot of fun, and one that I really don't have to care about my kill-death ratio. As long as I'm going for those tags, playing the objective, and helping my team, I'm having a lot of fun, regardless if I'm on the winning or losing side. I honestly, so far, don't think I've rage quitted a match, though that may still be possible as time goes on. This is a first-person shooter after all. Now, as far as Blackout goes, I'm not really big into Battle Royales, though I did give it a chance, and played a few rounds of quads. I was actually impressed and was having a lot of fun with it. I ran with a squad who was communicating and helping me out. Yes, actually helping me out, giving me tips, and actually being nice to a stranger, since it seemed like they were all friends. This was something I was not expecting from the game, from Call of Duty, but it just made playing Blackout that much better, because there was at least in this case, a squad that was really trying to be nice to the stranger that wasn't the friend and help him out, give him tips, so on and so forth, and was really, really cool. Now, despite not winning, though we did come in second, it was a good time and I had a lot of fun playing it. I think Blackout will be something I play every so often, but I think I'll mainly stick with the multiplayer aspect of the game over the Battle Royale mode. Now, Zombies I've not played yet, but I can't imagine it being too different from Zombies in every other game. Now, I still have some issues with the game that I hope Treyarch addresses and sorts out, which at the time of recording this, seems like they have at least addressed them. My only concerns so far are the spawns, as there are times that the entire enemy team will spawn behind me in Kill Confirmed, or vice versa. My other issue has to do with the weapon balance, as some seem a little too good. Aside from those, the game is great. For the first time in years, I'm having a lot of fun with a Call of Duty title, and if I had to give it a rating, I would easily give it a 9 out of 10. It's just that good, and this is coming from someone who has been hating on the series since 2012, if not earlier, so for me to say that this game is worthy of a 9 out of 10 and fun says a lot in my opinion. Now, I know this video was a little longer, but I really wanted to talk about my experience with Black Ops 4 and my opinions on it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and help me grow by subscribing to my channel. I can't promise more Call of Duty content in the future, but I can at least try. Also, don't forget to drop your comments down below, and if you haven't already, go and follow me on social media with Twitter and Facebook. Until next time, I will not be seeing you on the battlefield, but hopefully I'll be seeing you all in the Blackout.